Most men think empathy makes them weak, that if they listen too much, feel too deeply, or try to understand another man's pain, they'll lose respect. But look around. How many men do you know who are surrounded by people, yet emotionally alone, strong on the outside, disconnected on the inside? What if the problem isn't that men feel too much, but that we were never taught how to feel without shutting down? Today, I'm going to show you why empathy isn't the opposite of strength. It's the skill that separates men who build walls from men who build unbreakable bonds. Stay with me. Most men were never taught how to build bridges. We were taught how to stand our ground, how to hold our position, how to protect our territory, and slowly, almost invisibly, we learned how to build walls. Walls around our feelings, walls around our friendships, walls around our brothers, fathers, sons, and partners. Walls disguised as strength, walls mistaken for independence, walls praised as masculinity. But here is the truth few men ever hear. A man without empathy does not become strong. He becomes isolated. And isolation, no matter how well defended, eventually collapses inward. Today, we are not talking about empathy as weakness. We are talking about empathy as architecture, a blueprint for connection, a skill, a discipline, a form of leadership. Because the most emotionally intelligent men are not those who dominate rooms, but those who can enter another man's inner world without trying to conquer it. Empathy begins where ego ends. And ego is loud in male relationships. It shows up as competition disguised as jokes, as silence disguised as peace, as distance disguised as "I'm just busy." It shows up when one man shares something vulnerable, and another responds with advice instead of understanding. It shows up when pain is met with solutions, not presence. We are trained to fix, to solve, to correct. But empathy does not ask, "How do I fix him?" It asks, "Can I stand with him without trying to change him?" This is where bridges are built. Think about the male relationships in your life. How many of them are functional but not intimate? How many are loyal but not emotionally safe? How many are built on shared activity but never shared truth? Many men mistake proximity for connection. Working together, training together, drinking together. But connection requires something far more difficult: emotional risk. Empathy is the willingness to feel with another man, even when his experience threatens your worldview, your pride, or your comfort. And that is why empathy feels dangerous to men, because it requires humility. Empathy does not mean agreement. It does not mean approval. It does not mean weakness. It does not mean surrendering your boundaries. Empathy means this: I may not feel what you feel, but I respect that it feels real to you. That single sentence has ended more conflicts than force ever could. Yet most men never learn how to say it. Instead, we argue facts. We defend intentions. We explain ourselves into distance. And slowly walls rise. Every wall has a purpose. Walls protect. Walls defend. Walls keep danger out. But walls also keep connection out. Many men built emotional walls in childhood. Walls formed when vulnerability was mocked, when emotions were dismissed, when tenderness was punished, when needs were ignored. Those walls once kept you safe. But what protects a boy can imprison a man. Empathy is not about tearing walls down recklessly. It is about building gates, choosing when to open, choosing who is safe, choosing connection without self-betrayal. That is emotional intelligence. In male relationships, empathy often begins with listening, real listening. Not waiting to speak, not preparing a rebuttal, not scanning for weakness. Listening with the intention to understand, not to win. When a man feels truly heard, something shifts inside him. His nervous system softens. His defenses lower. His honesty increases. Empathy creates psychological safety, and safety is the soil where trust grows. But empathy also requires courage, because when you listen deeply, you will encounter pain you did not cause, but may feel responsible for. You will hear anger that makes you uncomfortable, sadness you were taught to ignore, fear you were told men shouldn't feel. The temptation will be to shut down, to joke, to minimize, to change the subject. That is the moment where bridges are either built or walls reinforced. The emotionally intelligent man stays, not with answers, not with control, but with presence. Empathy transforms conflict. Most male conflict is not about the surface issue. It is about unseen emotions beneath it. Disrespect, insecurity, fear of being diminished, fear of being invisible. Empathy does not escalate conflict, it disarms it. Because when a man feels understood, he no longer needs to fight to be seen. And empathy begins internally. A man who cannot empathize with himself cannot empathize with others. If you shame your own emotions, you will judge them in other men. If you suppress your pain, you will feel threatened by another man's vulnerability. If you deny your own fear, you will mock it when it appears in someone else. Self-empathy is the foundation. Without it, empathy toward others becomes performative. With it, empathy becomes natural. The most powerful shift a man can make is this: from proving strength to practicing understanding, from dominance to connection, from walls to bridges. This does not make you less masculine. It makes you more complete. Because leadership is not about control. Leadership is about influence. And empathy is influence at its deepest level. Men who master empathy change the tone of rooms. They calm conversations. They defuse tension. They invite honesty. They become trusted, not feared. Respected, not avoided. Sought out, not resisted. They build families where emotions are spoken, not suppressed. Friendships where honesty replaces bravado. Partnerships where connection replaces competition. This is the empathy blueprint. Not softness without structure. Not openness without boundaries. But strength that can hold emotion, yours and others, without breaking. If you want deeper relationships, start here. Listen longer than feels comfortable. Validate before advising. Stay present when retreat feels safer. Choose understanding over ego. Build bridges. Because walls may protect you from pain, but bridges lead you to belonging. And belonging is not weakness. Belonging is power.